Hello everybody, welcome to a new video, and let me tell you something. You see, I watched Toy Story 5 last night, and I gotta tell you, the movie, here's what I think about the movie. It's a movie that is easy to like, but also easy to hate. Okay? You see, Toy Story 5 left me in this it's good but not great territory. Okay? I did not think the movie was trash, but I did not think the movie was amazing. You see, to get my consensus out, let me just go talk about the pros of this movie. What makes the movie actually shine good? The pros I would say is this: the animation is spectacular as always. They made good use. I felt it crazy of that Marvel size $250 million budget for this movie. Because my goodness, when we have when we have a watercolor animation aesthetic where Bonnie goes into her imagination mode, or any kid goes to imagination mode with their toys. I love that aesthetic where they try to take a Spider-Verse style approach, since really that's really new for the franchise. They take a Spider-Verse style approach, and it looks very visually expressive and stunning. That's what I appreciate. Another good pro is that the way this movie handles technology, social media, and cyberbullying is a very nice touch for this movie. Close to the end, where Bonnie really wants to have this tablet called LilyPad, mainly to impress those two kids from, I guess, from the next door neighbor and stuff like that. So she needs a tablet instead of toys to connect, and that really goes to show how modern day technology actually is with kids. Most kids, like myself, are usually on our phones doom scrolling and not playing with actual toys. Some not even being outside. So that was a very relatable and methodic approach. Now, another thing I would like to say about this movie. It has good humor. Not the best humor out of the franchise, but it has good humor. Okay? Buzz trying to impress Jessie, trying to actually, date her finally. I thought that was a very nice touch, because when thinking about it, Buzz didn't really have him and Jessie didn't really have an arc to where it makes say, oh, hey, we're official. I love that. I also love how the fact that this movie was actually trying to complete Jessie's character arc, since Jessie has been kind of absent in terms of character arc after Toy Story 2. Toy Story 3 gave her a small character arc, but it wasn't a bigger, massive one as the movie did for Woody and Buzz. The fourth movie basically sidelined her. So I really appreciate that this fifth movie really gives her enough personality and really puts her in Woody's shoes. That's what I like. I do like the emotional moment, like close to the end, where she has this emotional closure with her owner, like Emily, with all these amazing flashback scenes. Those were very nice and moving. And I'm having a hard time thinking about any stuff to like about this movie, because there's so much stuff I can hate about this. Let's see what else. I mean, I guess Buzz and Woody, getting together against this tablet, I guess that was also a very nice touch. The new characters were likable-ish. I mean, Smarty Pants was basically digging out any nasty adult potty humor joke that he could think of. That was, I guess, solid gold. But now, let me get into the stuff I unapologetically dislike about this movie. The first thing, this movie gets too hyper realistic. Like when they were trying to rip off Bambi or something like that, and there was like a bunch of like deer and animals coming out. They looked at like so realistic that when the buzzes that were walking around the place, when they look around, like the straight up deer look more photorealistic than the actual characters, to where I almost thought that this was like a stop motion animated movie, and this is an entirely computer built 3D animated movie. Like I was completely dead confused, animation confused. But the thing is, that was like for like the fourth movie where I was like, is this really computer animated or is it stop motion? I know Pixar has this obsession with doing like realistic things, and while that can work, when you have like cartoon characters that you make, they don't fit into a realistic setting. They don't. They fit into a cartoon setting. They fit into a setting that is different from the real world. They don't fit into realistic settings that work for a live action shit. That's what Pixar has to rememberize, because they love spending that precious budget on making everything realistic when it doesn't have to be. Another thing I would like to say, and this is also another one I gotta hate. I hate the references, okay? Every time I was watching this movie, about every like few minutes, there was like a reference to the first movie, Woody and Buzz arguing. The movie itself felt very nostalgic, then plot driven. I mean, the whole thing with the lily pad is nice, but this whole thing where they're referencing past movies or referencing Disney, for Disney to make a quick buck and say, "Oh, hey, let's take you to our parks," let's do that. Like if you love Toy Story, you will definitely love going to Disneyland to go be at Toy Story Land, which is basically one of the main reasons why this movie even exists. It's to fear merchandise at Disneyland. And then let me see what else this movie has that I just severely don't like. The movie feels very humor focused than actual emotion focus. Because while watching film, I realized that a lot of stuff from the movie comes down to its humor. And of course, its humor works at times. At times, its humor does work. But it can feel a little bit rushed, messy, and sometimes for me, unlikable. And another thing I have to say is that the movie doesn't really get into its actual meat and potatoes until the very end of the movie. Once we start reaching the end of the movie actually starts getting emotional and stuff like that. Then once we start entering into actual action chase sequences, we have a lily pad just throwing herself away because he feels like she's responsible for the girls not liking Bonnie, when in reality it was the girl's fault, not her. Didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. And even the malfunctioning Buzz Lightyears didn't really feel needed at all. I feel like they were just there to have the plot go, or for Disney to sell merchandise out of them, or whatnot, because they didn't really feel needed. And another thing I'd like to say is that I don't really think Woody himself really feels needed either. Like, he's just kind of there. He doesn't want to do anything special or like that. He's just kind of there. He mistakes the fact that Jesse needs him for something, and he just like tags along. They're straight up like nothing for him, and he just kind of takes a back row seat. And and the movie does focus not on him or Buzz, but on Jesse. So the first half of the movie, I did really like. I liked the whole backstory between her and Emily, like during the first half. I liked Bonnie realizing that she needs to actually woman up and actually get an iPad like at 8 years old, and later on becomes a straight up iPad kid being straight up addicted to it. That's what I liked. But yeah, like this movie doesn't really take any huge big risk. It's mainly just a simple A and B plot. And while of course that worked for other movies, there's not really huge stakes going on for the movie. Like Bond is addicted to the iPad and pretty much the toys. If they wanted to, they can literally just destroy this iPad or do whatever the heck they want with it. But they don't, and the plot just goes everywhere. Like, in my personal opinion, it felt like the movie didn't really need to exist. If you understand me. If it was to finish out Jesse's arc, then what arc can you even make? Like, what arc can you even make? Because, like, after watching this movie, I feel like I'm just kind of burned out from this franchise. I feel like this franchise has gone on for a little while longer than it should have, a little bit overstaying its welcome. And it doesn't give me any hype for any other films in the franchise. Because what's next? Is Toy Story 6 going to have Bonnie, like, be a teenager, go through hormones, and realize, I don't like my toys anymore? And the toys decide, oh, okay, well, Bonnie doesn't like us anymore. Let's just go to a new owner, and boom, another trilogy. And Woody somehow comes back for plot convenience. Overall, I would say this movie is a solid 7 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not great. It's neutral area. I mean, it has a lot of good animation. It has enough good emotion. And characters are likable, but everything else is kind of sidelines. The rest of the cast is sidelined. Woody and Buzz is a little bit sidelined. It mainly is Jesse's story, but even by then, it still doesn't even work to me. I don't know. I mean, Toy Story 5, I really just think this franchise really just should have died a long time ago. This feels like the proper ending to the franchise overall because, let's face it, there's nothing you can really tell. You keep on making this stuff. You keep on saying, oh, well, hey, we're going to make this one. It's the end. And in reality, it's not even the end. But yeah, it's 7 out of 10. It's still a good movie. You're going to get a bunch of chuckles out of it, but one of the main reasons why I hold it back from greatness is its constant, reliable use for nostalgia for past films, references to Disney or other franchises, and just straight up lack of character development for some other characters. Overall, I just have nothing to say. I mean, Toy Story 5, after watching, I kind of forgot a lot like of the stuff like that happened in the movie. It's fine, but yet again though, it really feels like it's mainly just trying to use nostalgia for you to get invested. You like Woody and Buzz? Hey, we have Woody and Buzz. It doesn't really accomplish anything like groundbreaking as the previous movies did, and it's more on par with Toy Story 4. While they did try to fix up most stuff with it, most of the stuff in the movie kind of goes to show that this franchise is running out of steam. There's not a whole bunch of story to tell at all. This movie to me feels like the only main reason why it actually needed to exist was to keep Toy Story relevant at the parks and keep people still trying to visit the parks. But yeah, overall, guys, you tell me what you guys feel about this movie. For me, after watching this, I feel like I'm just a little bit burnt out by this franchise. It had a good run. The mouse just didn't want to have it end. And now it's pretty much about to be the highest grossing film in the franchise, which is going to convince the mouse to make more of these movies. And yeah, I don't know what to say besides that. Anyway, comment down below and let me know what you guys think about Toy Story 5, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye.